Singapore presidential hopeful Ng Kok Song says he's making the bid as he wants to set an example for good people to come forward and serve the country. He gave it serious thought because he felt Singaporeans did not want another walkover and that he is suitable as an independent candidate to be above politics. Rebecca Mateo tells us more.
Mr. Ng Kok Song arrived at about 10:40 a.m. at the elections department. The rain did not dampen the spirit of his friends and family who had come to support him. Hand in hand with his fiancée Sibyl Lau, he then collected his nomination form.
Excuse me?
After about 5 minutes, Mr. Ng was ready to address the media.
For some months, I have been, considering whether to stand for the presidency. Then all of a sudden, we have this deluge of negative news, news reports about, which raises concerns about, the integrity, the personal probity of public service holders. So I feel that at a time like this, it is so important that good people should come forward to serve the country.
Mr. Ng also introduced his 3 children and their spouses. He says being relatively unknown could impact his odds in the race. His supporters say they're backing him because of his character.
I've known Kok Song for about 40 years. We are not just friends, but we were also colleagues at the GIC. And what was your next question was?
What do you think about him?
Well, he's a wonderful person. He's a true friend. Importantly, I think he has a heart of gold for people. He's a compassionate person.
He was, in a sense, a mentor of mine before I went to university. And before I actually moved into law, I was doing economics. And if I recall correctly, he actually asked me to go and specialize in development economics because that was what was important for Singapore in those days.
Having spent most of his career in public service, Mr. Ng was asked whether that would mean he was too close to the establishment, but he stressed that he is an independent candidate.
We must make a distinction between establishment and government or the ruling party. I have never been a member of any political party. I have never been a member of the People's Action Party. But it's inevitable that when you serve in public service at a high level, you interact with ministers, with permanent secretaries. So yes, I have been a member of the establishment, but I have never been a member of any political party.
If elected, Mr. Ng says he will safeguard the reserves and uphold the integrity of public service officers.
Mr. Ng has over 40 years' experience in managing investments of Singapore's foreign reserves. Here's a look at the key highlights of his career.
The former Fullerton building was where it started for Mr. Ng Kok Song, first in the Finance Ministry in 1970, then a year later in the Monetary Authority of Singapore. He stayed there for 15 years. The bulk of his career came after that, when he joined GIC. He spent 27 years there, eventually becoming its chief investment officer. Mr. Ng steered the company through several financial crises, from the 1998 Asian currency crisis to the dot-com bust of 2001 and global financial crisis in 2008. For his contribution to Singapore, he was awarded the Meritorious Service Medal by the government in 2012. More recently, in 2015, after his retirement, Mr. Ng founded investment service firm Avanda Investment Management. With over $13 billion in assets, his clients include central banks, sovereign wealth funds and family offices. His 3 founding clients were state investors Temasek, GIC and a state board under the Manpower Ministry. Mr. Ng has 3 children. His wife had passed on due to cancer 18 years ago.